Let me ask you something that might make your chest tighten a little. Have you ever tried to take accountability, but what you really did was drown in shame? Like you wanted to be honest, you wanted to grow, you wanted to own your part. But the moment you looked at what you did or what you didn't do, you collapsed under it. Because somewhere along the way, you learned that owning your mistakes meant destroying yourself. And I need you to hear me today. You can own what happened without drowning in it. You can say, yeah, that was me, without saying, so I deserve to suffer forever. Day 5 is for the people who keep confusing accountability with self hate. Owning without drowning? Let's talk about it. Welcome back, my beautiful people. We are 5 days deep into this self forgiveness journey, and I just want to pause and honor you because facing yourself takes courage, not the cute kind, the real kind. Day 1, we told the truth. Day 2, we met the younger self. Day 3, we named the cost of self punishment. Day 4, we remembered we did better than we knew. So now day 5 is the bridge. It's where we learn to stand in responsibility without collapsing into shame. Because a lot of us, we want to improve. But the minute accountability shows up, we start spiraling. We go from, I made a mistake, to, I am a mistake. And that's not growth. That's drowning. So today I'm going to break down what healthy ownership looks like, why it matters, and how to practice it. And I'm going to share where I used to go wrong, how I kept owning in a way that still kept me stuck. You're going to leave this episode with a new way to hold yourself, with truth and tenderness. Let's define it. Owning without drowning means you acknowledge your choices honestly. You accept your role clearly. You learn the lesson humbly, but you do not turn the lesson into a life sentence. It's the difference between ownership, I did that and I regret it. Here's what I learned. Drowning, I did that and I'm disgusting. I'll never be better. Ownership is a teacher. Drowning is a jailer. Now, why does this matter? Because if you drown every time you try to own something, you'll stop owning things. You'll avoid reflection, avoid growth, avoid responsibility. Not because you're lazy, but because you don't feel safe inside your own honesty. And the healing truth is this: accountability is not supposed to erase your worth, it's supposed to refine your character. Rhetorical question time. What if the reason you keep repeating patterns isn't because you don't care, but because shame keeps making you afraid to look at them? Yeah. Healthy ownership says, let's look at it so we can change it. Shame says, don't look at it or you'll confirm you're unlovable. We're not living there anymore. Let me bring you into my truth. There was a season where I wanted to be accountable, like truly. But I didn't know the difference between responsibility and self-destruction. So I would look at my choices and say, yeah, I did that. I messed up. I hurt people. I ignored my gut. I stayed too long. I chose wrong. But then I'd add a second layer. And because I did that, I deserved to suffer. So I'd punish myself emotionally. I'd replay the past like a punishment loop. I'd insult myself. I'd withhold joy from myself. I'd act like healing was something I had to earn back. And you want to know what's wild? I thought I was being mature. I thought that was what accountability looked like. But that wasn't accountability. That was penance. That was me trying to pay for my pain by bleeding myself dry. And the moment I realized I was doing this was when I noticed something. Even after I owned my mistakes, I still wasn't changing. Because I was stuck in the drowning part. I was so busy hating who I had been that I couldn't nurture who I was becoming. One day I asked myself, okay, Dagmary, are you owning this to grow or owning this to punish? And baby, that question exposed me. I realized I'd been using ownership as a weapon. I was taking responsibility, but still holding the knife to my own throat. Here's the breakthrough I had. Accountability without compassion isn't accountability. It's abuse. Let me say it plain. If your ownership makes you hate yourself more, you're not owning, you're drowning. And when I finally learned to own without drowning, everything changed. I could say, yes, I did that. And also say, but that is not all of me. That was the day I started healing like I belonged to myself. All right, here's your day 5 practice. We're learning a new way to hold truth. Step 1, name what you need to own. Pick one thing, a decision, a pattern, a moment. Say it honestly. I ignored red flags. I abandoned my needs.